Have you ever thought about what it would take to build a truly perfect world? One with no pain, no fear, no war. In this explainer, we're diving into Lois Lowry's classic novel, The Giver, to check out a community that did just that, and to uncover the shocking price they paid for all that peace. What's amazing about this book is the effect it has on people. The author, Lois Lowry, was totally floored by the letters she got. They came from everyone: teenagers, teachers, parents, even a Trappist monk and a night watchman. The book just hits a nerve. Someone even wrote a marriage proposal inside a copy. It's a story that clearly digs into something really deep and human. So let's explore the world that gets such a powerful reaction. So the story drops us into this place that, on the surface, looks like a total utopia. It's a community that runs on order, predictability, and absolute control. Everything is designed to be safe and comfortable and just pleasant. But to get there, they had to make some pretty radical changes to the world itself. To get rid of conflict and anything unpredictable, the community basically erased, almost everything that makes our world interesting. They have climate control, so things like snow and sunshine are gone. The whole landscape was flattened out to make getting around easier. And maybe most shocking of all, they got rid of color, deep feelings, and even the ability to make your own choices. The whole society is built around this one guiding principle they call sameness. Everything is engineered to stop strong feelings, personal ambition, or anything at all that might make one person stand out from another. It's the ultimate bargain. Give up your individuality, and in return, you get total stability. Now, to keep this level of sameness going, life is managed by this incredibly detailed system of rules and rituals. And these rules, they dictate everything, from the way you talk to what you're going to do for the rest of your life. You can really see this obsession with control in the rule about precision of language. Get this, our main character Jonas's friend, Asher, once mixed up the words snack and smack when he was just a little kid. And the punishment for that? A quick sting from a discipline wand. This kept happening until the poor kid actually stopped talking for a while. In this world, even a simple slip-up with words is seen as a threat to the whole system. A person's entire life is basically mapped out for them in these yearly ceremonies. When you're 1, you get your name and are placed with a family unit. At 9, you get a bike. But the really big one is the ceremony of 12. That's when the elders, who've been watching you your entire life, just give you your career, your assignment. And no, you don't get a choice. And then you've got this word, release. On the one hand, it's this happy ceremony for the elderly, a celebration of their lives. But on the other hand, it's the absolute worst punishment you can get if you break the rules, a terrible final disgrace. Nobody seems to know what it really means to be sent elsewhere, and that vague double meaning is just deeply creepy. So what about natural human stuff like attraction or desire? Oh, they have a word for that, stirrings. And the moment those feelings start to pop up, usually when you're a teenager, you have to start taking a daily pill to just switch them off. It's just one more layer of control, making sure that messy emotions never mess up the perfectly calm society they've built. Okay, so this is where we meet our main character, Jonas. He's an 11, and he's both excited and super nervous for his ceremony of 12. He's a good kid, thoughtful, follows the rules, but at the single most important moment of his life, something goes completely and utterly wrong. So picture this. Jonas is at the ceremony, watching his friends get called up one by one. His number is 19. His friend Fiona, who's number 18, gets the perfect assignment for her kind personality, caretaker of the old. The tension is really building. The crowd applauds for Fiona. Jonas is getting ready. He's next. But then, the chief elder's voice calls out the next number, and it's not his. She just seems to look right through him. 20, she calls out. Pierre. The whole place goes quiet. Was it a mistake? No way, the chief elder never makes mistakes. She skipped Jonas. The ceremony just keeps going, but for Jonas, his entire world has just ground to a halt. Can you imagine that feeling? The public shame. In this community where fitting in is literally everything, being singled out like this is beyond terrifying. Jonas just shrinks down in his seat, trying to become invisible, his mind just screaming, trying to figure out what he could have possibly done wrong. So after the very last assignment is handed out, the whole crowd is feeling really uneasy. The chief elder finally turns her gaze back to the boy she skipped over, and at last, she reveals his strange and unique destiny. And listen to the specific words she uses. Jonas has not been assigned, she says. Jonas has been selected. He wasn't forgotten at all. He was chosen for a role so rare, so important, that it's completely outside the normal system. He is going to be the next receiver of memory. The chief elder then lists the qualities this person needs to have: intelligence, integrity, wisdom. But then she gets to courage. The courage to handle pain of a magnitude that none of us here can comprehend. Whoa. And finally, this mysterious thing called the capacity to see beyond, which Jonas realizes is his strange ability to sometimes see flashes of color in their gray, colorless world. So he gets this instruction folder, and inside is a single page with a list of completely bonkers new rules. He's allowed to be rude, he can't ask for pain medicine for any injuries related to his training, and then the last rule, the one that just completely shatters his understanding of reality. Rule number 8 says, you may lie. This is the question that just changes everything for Jonas. I mean, if he can lie, what about the other adults? Could his parents be lying to him? How can you ever know what's real when the very idea of truth has just been ripped out from under you? And just like that, his training starts. Jonas goes to this little annex behind the House of the Old, and there he meets the current receiver, an old, tired man who tells Jonas to call him the Giver. This is where Jonas's world is about to get a whole lot bigger. So it turns out, the receiver's job is to hold all the memories of the entire human race from before sameness was created. All the joy, the pain, the color, the love, the war, everything the community gave up is stored inside this one person. And now, it's Jonas's turn to carry that weight. The Giver decides to start him off with something simple. He tells Jonas to lie down and says he's going to give him the memory of snow. Now, to Jonas, who's only ever known a world with climate control, that word means absolutely nothing. But as the Giver puts his hands on Jonas's back, he feels it. The air gets freezing cold. He sees these little white flakes falling from the sky. And then suddenly, he's sitting on a sled at the top of a huge hill, feeling this pure, breathless excitement as he races down through the snow. For the very first time in his life, he feels real, unfiltered joy. So Jonas has had his first taste of what the world used to be like. But this is just the beginning. I mean, if a simple memory like snow could hold so much happiness, what else has been lost? And what kind of awful pain is waiting for him in the memories the Giver still has to pass on? Their perfect world is starting to crack, and Jonas is just beginning to see how deep those cracks really go.